Ubisoft is completely changing the current run and gun meta of Siege. With the release of Operation Deadly Omen in 14 days, Ubisoft has dropped tons of information about how they're going to completely change the game of Siege. Ubisoft is planning on nerfing a whole host of defender operators and buffing attackers, while also slowing down the pace of the game by removing 1.5 scopes and reducing movement speeds. There are also going to be a lot of new additions to the game, like a new anti-cheat software, crossplay with console and PC, cosmetic lockers, and the Siege Cup. However, before we dive into all that, I want to talk about the operators that will be getting remastered. The recruit class is going to be getting customizable operators with unique kits. As well as that, Blackbeard will be getting remastered. Finally, we've been waiting for years for Ubisoft to buff this guy, since that nerf that ultimately killed this operator. As well as remastered ops, there's two new operators set for release, Deimos and the Greek operator who is set to release in Season 3 of Year 9. Although we don't know much about the Greek operator set for release, we do know that he will be getting a brand new weapon. Deimos has already been unveiled to the public. His kit consists of a 2-shot revolver with a 2x scope, the AK-47M, or the M59OA1 shotgun. His gadgets allow him to actively track operators who have been red pinged throughout the round. However, when his gadget is in use, he can only use his secondary revolver. There are a few counters to his gadget. He can be tracked by Solus. You can't be tracked by his gadget when you're in the vicinity of a mute jammer. Vigil can also hide from his tracker. In all honesty, in a game where high fire rate and pre-firing is the meta, I don't think that this operator will be as strong as everybody thinks. However, with strong team play, he can be very useful. Strong team play is the direction that Ubisoft wants to take this game. Therefore, Deimos' ability is perfect for pushing that type of play.
So as we talk about reinforcing our attackers, it means giving them the armory they need, the tools they need to be able to take the fight that they have to do. The second side of it is going across the line over to those defenders and dealing with some powerhouses over there. So in Season 1, Azami will be receiving an update. Azami's Kiba barriers will now have a durability on them, which means depending on the weapon caliber you're using, you'll be able to knock them down faster or slower. Additionally, this is one of the first steps because we're actually going to be bringing something else in Season 2. Our lovely Spooky Boy Fenrir will receive his first update. This will be removing the bulletproof off the FNAT entirely, also removing an FNAT from his loadout and a code. Lastly, Solus. I gotta move fast here. Solus will be receiving 2 updates. Season 2, she'll be receiving the first update, which will make this the case. Her gadget will no longer be able to be used during prep phase. Additionally, the range of her gadget will be reduced and the battery will drain faster. Now this is part 1. Part 2 will come in Season 3 and it'll bring a deeper system change, but it takes more time for that and that's why it's in Season 3. We have an additional operator being adjusted in Season 3, which is Dokkaebi. We're attacking some of the frustration around her gadget.
Me, it makes sense that these operators are receiving nerfs, because they are by far the most frequently banned defenders in Siege. However, I really never felt that Fenrir and Solus were too overpowered to the point where players were abusing them, unlike Azami. Azami's Kiba barriers were the most annoying gadget of last season, and I'm glad Ubisoft stepped in and nerfed her, because of the durability of her Kiba barriers was extremely overpowered.
We will be finalizing the maps within Quick Match 2.0, bringing the entire map roster to Quick Match. Standard will be getting new filtering so you can choose between ranked, all maps, or only the non-ranked maps as well. Within ranked, we're bringing exclusive cosmetics that you can earn every season. Siege Cup is a brand new time-gated tournament that happens every 2 weeks. Participation within the Siege Cup provides specific rewards, so make sure you grab your friends, squad up, register your team, and we all know that feeling. At the end of the match when your heart is pumping, you just need to close it out, there's going to be no other feeling like the Siege Cup.
I honestly couldn't be more excited for the Siege Cup. In a game as strategic and high stakes as Siege, I'm glad Ubisoft is implementing this style of tournament play, where players can play tournament style for special rewards. This is the type of competitive play this game has needed for so long, and I'm excited it's here finally. Although all these changes are for the better of Siege, I can't help but think that Siege will lose a majority of its player base due to the pacing of the game. Ubisoft's goal by removing the 1.5 scope and reducing movement speeds while holding heavy or automatic rifles is to slow down the pace of the game, which is something Siege used to be. Albeit, the old, slower paced Siege was what helped me fall in love with the game. However, I have been having the most fun playing this game in a long time during the current meta. I'm willing to welcome the new changes Ubisoft is going to implement because I'm going to play this game regardless, but I will miss the current meta. And I do think casual players are going to leave Siege when the pace of the game slows down.